Hi guys, Ursa Dia here, and I'm back with another Otomania. This one is actually going to be the last Otomania of 2020, and so I thought I'd do a little 2020 recap. Even though it hasn't been like a full year of Otomania, I probably will do a full year recap of the first year, but I just thought that I'd kind of recap this like half to like 3/4 of a year, just because the New Year's is coming up, and this was something really new to my channel that like I started this year, and I really like wanted to do this series, and it was something I've thought about for a while, and so I just kind of wanted to recap it and kind of talk about what I want to change or what you guys want to see in the future going into the next year. So, first off, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching the series. I know it's not as popular as other videos on my channel, but it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I just think it's really, really fun, and it's a way for me to show kind of like my passion for otome games, and that's something I really don't get to do normally with like just my friend group because they aren't really into it. So for me to be able to share it with you guys really makes me happy. Um, but yeah, so far 2020 starting Otomania, um, it's changed a lot from kind of where it started, but it's kind of still happening the way that I kind of planned it to. Um, so far, there were 14 videos that were released this year for Otomania. Um, I think I only skipped like 3 weeks, and those weeks that I skipped were typically ones where like I was really busy. Like the last one I skipped like was during my finals week, so obviously that wasn't going to happen. I was way too busy writing like 20-page papers and stories and stuff that that was not happening. And in the future, if one doesn't get posted, it's probably because something came up either school-wise for me because I'll be starting grad school, or work if I'm working, or just personal life things might get in the way. But typically I've been pretty decent about posting. Like I've said, I think I've only skipped like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was only if I had to. And most of the time I get them out on time. I try to post them at 12, but some days they're like today. Um, I didn't have a chance to record this earlier, so I'm doing it the day of, so it's gonna be posted a bit late, but it will still be posted the day of. But yeah, out of 14 videos, I started with an Oz Mafia review of the game, and that was something that was really, really fun. Oz Mafia was a game that still is near and dear to my heart. It was one that, like, I had been playing casually for, like, probably 2 years, but had only really gotten through, like, 3 characters, like, routes, and not even, like, fully completing the routes. Like, I did one playthrough of one of the characters, and I think 2 to 3 playthroughs of two of the other characters. So I did not get very far, but starting this show on here kind of forced me to not only play other characters' routes, but to like fully complete the game. And after like 100 hours, I completed it. But I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite games, and you get so much for your money's worth. Like a normal Otome game, like grade A Otome game is like what, $30, $35 maybe, and you get 5 to 6 routes, maybe including and maybe not including like 1 or 2 like unlockable characters, and this game had literally like double that. Like they had over 12 people that you could like romance. Um, I think I'm trying to do math mentally in my head and it's not working out. But you had a lot more routes to choose from, a lot more guys. You had a girl in there, even though it was more of a friendship route, which I'm still kind of bitter about, because it would have been so cute otherwise. Um, but it was just, to me, a really great way to start off the show. And for that, I remember I did not script it. Um, I was debating whether or not I should script these episodes, and so I decided to not script it because I was like, oh, well, I kind of know what I want to say in my head. And then it ended up being like an hour-long video that I cut down to a half an hour, and it still felt very long and flustered. Um, so I started scripting my videos after that, at least for the reviews. Um, so that one was just a lot of me rambling, which is honestly what this one's going to be because I didn't script it. But it ended up being a lot of fun, even though it wasn't scripted and kind of came out rambly. And then the next episode was my Obey Me review, which I was actually requested to play and review. And it was a game that I think I mentioned in the video, like, it had been on my radar since before the game was released because, like, you know, Instagram and Twitter give you, like, personalized ads and stuff, so I get a lot for Otome games. And so I kept seeing it before it came out, and I was like I followed them on Twitter. Like I didn't put on notifications, but I like actively was like following along, waiting for the release. And then it came out, and I was just like, I didn't download it. I didn't play it. And so when I got requested to play it, I of course went and downloaded it. It's actually the only Otome game that I play on my phone. All of my other ones I play on my iPod because it has more storage, but I actually downloaded Obey Me onto my phone. So it's the one that I check in with the most. It's been half a year at this point. Like, I'm still playing it. It ended up being like a game that I started playing just because like somebody requested it and wanted an Otomania review on it. And I've literally continued playing it. Like, I'm still playing it. I'm not caught up on the lessons. I'm trying very, very hard. I'm like chapter like 40, so I got a little bit more to go until I'm caught up to the current chapters, but I'm trying my best. I do pretty well in the events, which is why I suck at like keeping up with the actual storyline, but and something that I really enjoyed, didn't I figured I would probably like it, but I didn't know if I would like how the game was set up. And there are still issues with the game that I don't like, and they are still, for the most part, the same issues that I had in my review of like the point values that you have to hit for the like events and stuff are just ridiculous. Like now, and I'm hoping that it's just because it's the 1 year anniversary, but now, like, in order to complete the SSR card for the event, you have to hit like 100,000. Like, you have to collect 100,000 things, and I'm like, no, that's not happening. Um, that and like at this point, the values of like what you have to hit in order to complete like the new lessons are getting so high that I'm literally using almost like 1 to 2 like UR cards per round, and I'm still having to use like light sticks and stuff, and like my UR cards are all at like level 95 and higher, and I'm still struggling. So I can only imagine how bad it's going to be by the end of this set of lessons. So I think that the difficulty levels are a bit hard to complete without using like extra items, and a lot of the times like the extra items like the rainbow light sticks are like the best, but they're a lot harder to come by than the rest of the light sticks. So I do think that that's a bit hard. um, but I still am enjoying the game. I love the game so much. I convinced one of my best friends to play it like a week after I played it, and she's been playing it with me since. And so that's something fun that's kind of like helped us keep in contact and like have something kind of mutual we can do throughout like quarantine and stuff. Even though we can't hang out together in person, we can still message each other and talk about the game. So I want to say thank you guys for requesting that game because it became a big part of my 2020 and is still probably going to be a big part of my 2021. And then after that, I had an Oz Mafia anime review. Really short anime. Still kind of recommend it. It's like can finish it in an hour. It's really like if you're bored, just watch it. It's really funny. Has very little to do with the actual game, so you won't be spoiling anything. And that one, as well as like the Obey Me review, were scripted. Um, and you can probably tell because I sounded a lot better, but I did look very weird. I have trouble with like, because I put the script up on like my computer screen, and then like I look into the camera and read, and then I like glance at what I have to read next, and I go back, and I struggle with that a lot because one, I can't see that well. Like I'm not blind or anything, but I do have trouble with distance, so anything that's like 5 feet away from me, it starts to get blurry. And so when you have font like this big and more than 5 feet away from you, it gets really hard to read. And I don't like putting on my glasses. Um, so that was like something that like I struggled a lot with. So like if there were any weird pauses whenever I'm reading something that's clearly scripted like a review, just know that it's not me trying to like think or me like struggling to come up with what to say. It's me being unable to literally read what I wrote. But I do think by the time I got like farther in my reviews, I did get a little bit better because I started to kind of like memorize the script because I wrote it the way that I would like speak it. And so I think that helped a lot because as a writer, I kind of know my own like speaking quirks and like how I word things in my head versus how I speak things. And so I really try to write the way that I speak, which for me is actually pretty easy. That's how I write a lot of my essays. That's how I write some of like my stories and stuff. And so I tried to like find that balance between like this is kind of like a formal review with also like this is literally just my personality coming out. And so I don't know how well I did on that. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys think like scripted stuff sounds okay because I really try. I don't like writing scripts. I took an entire playwriting course in which I had to take like script writing and like do scripts, and it was literally like my most hated class throughout all my 3.5 years of college. Like, I hated it. I struggled so much. I hated the format, and my scripts for this are definitely a lot more casual. Like, I just break it down by section, but it's still like a lot, and that's why towards the end of the year, like, you didn't get as many scripts just because it takes a lot of like time and energy for me to sit down and write a script because I not only have to finish the game or like watch the show again and things like that, but then I have to sit down and like break down the sections, break down my opinions, write it all down, make sure it's cohesive, make sure it's within a decent time frame. Um, so that takes a lot. So that's why anime reviews start and like game reviews started kind of fading out. Um, just because I started getting so busy with school, like I could not just, I didn't have the time and energy to do that. So hopefully going into this next year, I'll have more scripted stuff. But I thought that was fun. And like I said, as I got further on in the year, I stopped doing scripted stuff. I think my last scripted thing was my Code Realize um, game like review, and that one was really, really fun. It was something that it's one of my probably, oh, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite Otome games, but I definitely like the storyline. But it was really, really fun to be able to like sit down and like finish the game, which I really enjoyed. And then after that, everything kind of went literally off script, in which it was like a weekly, I either knew what I wanted to do, or it was me messaging like two of my best friends who like have been doing great at supporting the show and just my channel in general, and it'd be me like messaging them going like, hey, so like I'm thinking about doing this, like would you guys be interested in that, or does that sound like a horrible idea? And I kind of like worked off of their feedback, or if they had suggestions, I kind of like went with those and things like that. And there were a couple that like I definitely like wanted to do. Like I did a dance cover for Aoi Shota's birthday. That one was really really fun for me to do. It was one of my favorite dances. Like Futari no Monogram is one of my favorite songs that Aoi Shota sings. Like in general, out of all of his character songs, out of all his personal songs, like it's one of my favorites. It's from the Utapri Fourth Love, like Maji Live stage, and that is literally like one of my favorite stages. It holds a lot of like memories for me, even though like I didn't see it in person. It's just like one of my favorite stages, so it was really special for me to kind of learn that, even though I only learned it in like 2 hours. I think I did pretty well for it being 2 hours. Um, Maybe for Mikaze Ai's birthday, I will relearn it and like learn the full thing and do a much better job. Um, if I do, that'll be coming out in March because that's his birthday. I don't remember the exact date, but it's a thing. Um, I had like Otome like name that tune, which my wonderful friend Gabby like ended up making for this channel, and so thank you to her. She's done a lot for this channel, both in being in some of my videos, mostly the taste test videos, um, and a couple of like other videos. She's helped a lot behind the scenes with editing occasionally. So quick shout out and thank you to her for that. But she actually ended up making the Otome Name That Tune game that I played, and it ended up being really fun. She's not super into Otome, but she's kind of dealt with it because I was her roommate for 3 years. And so she essentially just told me to send her a list of Otome games and anime, both ones I've seen and haven't seen, and she just picked some from it and compiled the game, and it ended up being really, really fun because she chose some that I didn't know what they were, but I still knew the song, and some that I did know what they were, and I just completely had no idea what the song was. So I thought that one was really fun. And like Name That Tune is something that I like playing a lot. I had a lot of friends in college who would play anime Name That Tune with me, and so this was something really really fun for me to do, and something that I personally think I'm pretty decent at. um, I'm really good at like recognizing songs really quickly. Then I had a couple, like I had a speed draw, and that one was something that was definitely oh hey, I need an Otomania for tomorrow and I don't have anything. So that one was definitely an on the whim of, let's see if I can set up my iPod to try to like speed draw this and see how it goes. And so, is it the best thing I've drawn? No. But for it being like, I think I drew it in like 45 minutes maybe. Um, I don't think it came out too bad. It was definitely just a sketch. It's not the best thing I've drawn, and it's not even the best thing I've drawn with that character in it. Like, I've drawn a lot more things with Taku in it that have come out much better. Um, One's hanging on my wall right now. I have one in my portfolio over there. I have a painting I did that's downstairs. Um, so it definitely wasn't my best Takaru drawing, but like it worked. It was a video. Um, and then after that, I had two games that I did like a prologue playthrough, um, and that was actually pretty cool. Sleeping Delivery was one that one of my college friends recommended to me. It was one of the only Otome that she plays, and she actually, I think, recently just finished it. Um, so congrats to her on that. Um, that was really fun because, like, like I said, most of my friends don't really play Otome games or like Otome games, so like having one of my like close friends be like, "Hey, like I actually play this game and really enjoy it. Like, check it out." It was really fun for me to play. Um, I honestly, both of the games that I played the prologue for on here, I have not touched since. Um, I honestly have not been using my iPod that much, so that's most of the reason. And one of them, like, I got a request to continue doing episodes, so I'm gonna try to set that up in the future. And I think that was for the Dangerous Fellows game. And for that one was actually really interesting because I actually had played it before. I had downloaded it and I think played through the prologue and then was just like, it's I and then deleted it. So I do believe that I got a request from one of my friends to continue that one, so maybe in the future you will see a few more episodes of that, depending on how they like let you view episodes in the future, because as of right now they're still letting me read, but I don't know if like soon like chapters will be kind of like locked, and so we'll kind of take that one as it comes depending on how the game itself is set up, but look forward to those in the future. Um, then I had like a couple of like other fun ones, which were actually ones that I had like planned out, but they were definitely like not scripted and definitely like for fun ones that weren't like gameplays or anything. And that was like the last two that I posted. So I had the Hello Otome, which was me using the ranking list and kind of changing it so it's me just kind of placing characters in different Halloween costumes. I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know what you guys thought of it, but I really enjoyed it. Um, I thought it was just something nice. I really wanted to do something holiday themed for Halloween, and that was the best thing I could think of. Um, so I just thought that that was really fun. Um, Most of the like games that I play don't really have Halloween events. Like they kind of do, but like not really. So I thought that that was the best thing that I could do to kind of have like a Halloween themed thing, and I thought it was really fun. Like I just picked a bunch of characters from a bunch of different shows, and for some of them, like when I chose like the categories for costumes, some of them I was like 100% like this character is going in this category. Like this character would 100% dress up as this, and then the other ones I was like, I don't know. Or I got to it and I was just like, oh, they definitely belong in here. And then I'd be like, I wonder how they look if they did this, now that I think about it. So that was just kind of really, really fun just to kind of like play around and kind of just imagine the characters wearing things that like maybe they would wear, maybe they wouldn't wear. And so I just thought it was really fun, especially because like some of the characters you would definitely not see in like Halloween costumes, like Kamigami no Asobi. Like you're probably not gonna see them in Halloween costumes. Like they're gods. Like that's probably not happening. Same with like Code Realize, like with steampunk and stuff. Probably not happening. Whereas like Utapri, you're more likely to see them in that type of costume because like they're supposed to be idols, and like I can already think of like a few like of the cards you can collect in the game, or at least on Shining Live, where like they dress up like that. But that one was just really, really fun. And then the last one that I did was the Hunger Games. I loved that. Please let me know down in the comments below if you guys want another one of those, or the reason I actually did two recordings, and I think I mentioned it in the thing, is I did two recordings, and the first recording ended up not being good just because my camera was blocking a lot of the text because it was on the wrong side. But let me know if you guys want to see that, and I will still post it. Like, it's using the same characters, but it ended up being like a way different storyline. And like my camera was blocking like part of the text, but you still like I read everything out, so you're not really missing anything. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys still want to like see that, and I'll post that. It might not be a real Otomania video, but I might post it like separately on its own, but still tag it as Otomania. So in other words, it might be posted, but not on like Monday. But let me know if you guys want that, or if you want to see like me do it again with completely different characters, if you want to see it with like characters from like just one series, like it would have to be like a series that has lots of characters. So probably like an idol otome would be best. So like Utapri, I could definitely get 24 characters out of. Do they have that many? They probably do. If I have to like go into like side characters, I can't. Recommend down to me. Maybe I'll do like 2 different games, and kind of like mash them up. But or if you just want to see like different like shows and like the characters, or even the same shows that I use, just different characters from them, like let me know down below, because I really enjoyed doing that. I thought it was a lot of fun. That website is a lot of fun. And I just thought it was really funny how like the games kind of like played out. And I know you guys didn't see the first story, but like the difference between the two was so big. Like the first one was finished in like 2 to 3 days, whereas the next one, like that you guys saw, took a while. There was a really big top 10 anime betrayal in like the first one I did, whereas the second one, it was a lot more bloodshed, but it wasn't as like betrayal-y. That's not a word, but I'm making it a word. But it ended up being really fun. So let me know if you guys want another one of those. And just overall, that's kind of a review of like what I have done. In the future, like I definitely want to play more games. I know I have a bunch of games on my computer that I bought through Steam, some of which I'm partly through, some of which I'm not. I'm actually going to be trying to figure out, now that I have equipment like microphone and everything, I'm actually going to see if I can start streaming. And I haven't debated, well, I'm still debating if I want to stream on Twitch or YouTube. I've streamed on YouTube before and kind of understand how it works. I haven't tried it on Twitch, so I'm going to try on Twitch and see which one I like better. But when I do decide and I figure out what times I'm going to play, I will probably make a video here and post it, letting you guys know. And when that happens, please join me. It'll be a lot of fun. I think otome games are fun to play by yourself, but I think that they'd be really fun to like play and like interact and have you guys help me choose the options and kind of get to direct the storyline a lot. So I think that'd be really fun. So that's something I really want to do in the future. And even if I stream on like Twitch, I still might take the videos and post them on here so you guys can see in case you missed the stream or something. And so if that happens, I'll have a lot more finished games to review. I'll probably do a couple of anime reviews just because I've seen a lot of the animes, but my issue with that is I have to like go back and rewatch them. Because I remember a lot about them, but I don't think I could really write a good review off the top of my head about any of them, except for maybe like Kamigami no Asobi, and that's just because I've watched it so many times. But everything else, I probably have to like rewatch. So please look forward to those in the future, because those are definitely something that are a lot more time consuming than a lot of my like non-scripted things, just because I have to like finish the game or the show and then I have to script everything. So that's why the reviews have become few and far between, but hopefully going into the next year I will have more of them, and so please look forward to that. I do plan to continue doing like kind of my fun like out of the box ideas, I plan to do a couple of like the rank list things and like maybe ranking my favorite characters within a certain show or things like that. Um, Maybe doing another Name That Tune if Gabby has free time. I know right now, like, people are super busy and stuff, but like, there's an entire year ahead of us. Um, I'd say I could make it, but then I just realized that would not work. But yeah, so I plan to do that. Um, Definitely testing out a few more games. If they are on like mobile, then actually I suppose I could do like a prologue playthrough on my computer. Um, it's just kind of harder, I feel, with like, because most of my like computer Otome games tend to be like more like grade A games, whereas my mobile Otomes are mobile Otomes, so like the setup is different. So I think it's a lot easier to do like prologue playthroughs on my like mobile devices than like on my computer games. Um, but I will definitely probably do a lot more of those. I already know like there are a couple of games that I want to try, like Mr. Love's Queen Choice. That's been another one that's kind of like Obey Me, where I've known about it since before it's come out, and I don't think I follow anything for Mr. Love's Queen Choice, but I do know that like I was on their like pre like register list, and then I never downloaded it. So that is one that I've wanted to play for a while. I just have been too lazy to. Um, Honestly. And then there are just like games that I really do want to talk about and share my love for. Like the Ikemen series. I love it. I feel like I've talked about it a bit on this channel. Um, and like I definitely want to like do reviews on some of my favorite ones, or I don't think I'd be able to play any of them. Um, just because I'm so far in at least 2 out of the 4. Um, but like I definitely want to talk about like Revolution and Vampire because like those two are my favorites. Um, I actually need to get back into them. Um, but they are definitely some of my favorites. If you guys are looking for really good mobile otomes, highly recommend those two. Um, if you like Alice in Wonderland, Revolution, like Ikemen Revolution, that's the way to go. It's really, really great. I love the characters. Really easy, like, game design setup. And, like, vampires, the same thing, except they're historical figures as vampires, which I think is pretty cool. Um, it's caused me a lot of, like, weird real life situations in which I took an art history course and we studied Vincent van Gogh a lot, and I discovered that I am the only person out of my class of like 20 kids, including the teacher, who refers to Vincent van Gogh by his first name instead of Van Gogh, and it's 100% because of that. But it is what it is, you know? Sometimes you just gotta live life. So that's kind of something interesting. But if you're looking for a fun otome that's mobile and like easy to play, that maybe takes up to like 20 minutes a day, like, highly recommend those ones. Really fun, super easy, super chill. Um, if you like things a bit more spicy, both of them are kind of have a bit like PG-13 to um, definitely like 18 plus. Um, Definitely like Revolution hints at it, but doesn't go in detail. Vampire goes in detail. So be wary of that. Or if that's what you're into, go for it. I enjoy it. I think that they're well written. For being translated games, they actually did pretty good with translations. There's a few mistakes here and there, but much better than like a lower grade game. But yeah, so I'll probably talk about those more in depth, make new videos on them instead of continuing to discuss them in this one. But yeah, so that's kind of my recap and kind of what I've done this year versus what I'm planning to do this coming year. Um, so that should be fun. So in other words, going into the future, I'm planning to do essentially the same stuff, but hopefully better, hopefully more of it. I'm still going to stick to my every other week schedule just because, like, this does get really time consuming and, like, I do have to start grad school and get a job, so I won't have as much free time. So I'm going to stick with the every other week schedule, but hopefully I won't be missing a lot of weeks. And hopefully you guys continue to enjoy them. This is a series that, like I've said, is really like near and dear to me. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's maybe not coming out exactly the way that I thought it would be, but it's still coming out pretty well, and I'm happy with the quality because I do think that like the quality is the best that I can do at the time. So, and hopefully in the future it'll just get better. I think having a lot of my like new equipment and software has definitely helped a lot. Um, I don't know 100%. I don't 100% remember, but I do think that one of the Oz Mafia videos was like my first time using my new editing software, and so like that was already like a big increase in quality. And now I have like a new camera, I have OBS, I have mic, um, as well as my new editing software. So things have definitely become higher quality, and I kind of know a bit more of what I'm doing for the show. So as much as half of it's not scripted, I still do kind of plan things out, and so things are at least meeting my expectations. In some cases, they are like exceeding them, but I'm at least happy with the quality. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys do think I could be doing something better, please let me know, and I will try to do it. If you guys have any ideas or anything you want to see, whether it's a certain game, a certain show review, if you just have like an idea for like one of my fun, like more casual, like non-review like videos, please let me know. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys continue to enjoy and support like Otomania. It's something that's really, really fun. Um, I just thought of something that's like a low-key side note, but I feel like this is probably the best place to put it. But when I said Otomania, it like sparked my memory. Um, one of the like popular like game designers for Otome games, I want to say it's Genius. Like the game developers, a lot of the mobile game developers, if they have a lot of games, have been making apps to kind of put all of the games into like one app, so you're not downloading like 20 apps, you just download the one app and then you can play like the different games. And I believe it's Genius, but one of them is named Otomania, and it wasn't released until after I started my Otomania series, and I think that's really funny. Um, so I would like to say, in case any of you guys have seen it or use it, because I haven't used it yet, and I believe it's Genius. I could be wrong. I'll put it somewhere if I'm wrong. Um, but they named their like all-included like app Otomania, and I saw that and I started laughing because I did go and I checked to see when it was released, and it was released after I created my show. So I thought that was really, really funny. I was like, great minds think alike. Um, but that, I guess, fun fact. I just thought of that when I said it. Um, but yeah, if you guys have any ideas of what you guys want to see on the show, definitely let me know. Like, always open to ideas, always open to new content. So please let me know, and thank you guys for supporting the 3/4 to like half of a year that has been Otomania. I will probably do a full year recap, or at least like a 1 year anniversary thing when it gets closer to that time. So probably I think I started this in May, maybe, around there. Um, so please continue to support this, and thank you for supporting this, and I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to comment down below if you guys have any ideas, if you liked it, if you didn't. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit the notification bell if you guys want to be notified when I release more Otomania videos. And if you don't and you just like checking up on the channel, because I know sometimes I do that with series and like YouTube channels, I release Otomania every other Monday on this channel, typically at 12. Clearly, this one's late, but normally I try to do it at 12 p.m., so midday, every other Monday. Yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.